Good morning, students. So, you know that we are going through this pandemic situation, and due to the information and order by the district magistrate, we are again going through the lockdown period, right? And as the lockdown period continues, you know that we cannot have the online classes through Skype, so we cannot have interactive classes, as we do not have that kind of opportunity, but we have the opportunity of having offline classes. So this week, whatever the classes were remaining and whatever the classes were there, so according to that we will have some offline classes. You will be able to see or to watch these videos in our school's YouTube channel and also in the e-portal. So hope that you will cooperate and will study according to it. But if you have any problems after this lockdown is over, when we will again meet and have online classes, that time definitely we will discuss about the points which have been discussed through these offline videos. But yes, definitely I'm not going to discuss the whole part which is discussed by me during these periods. So those students who are not watching these offline videos will be having a gap in their understanding. So either you watch it from the YouTube channel or you watch it from the e-portal. That is according to your wish, but you have to watch it and learn it and practice according to that pattern. Okay, so last day we have completed the chapter called Vijayanagar, right? And in the chapter called Vijayanagar, we have seen that how in the 13th and 14th century, after 14th century till 17th century, the Vijayanagar Empire became very strong, and this strong empire was a Hindu empire in the Deccan area, the Deccan part of the Indian subcontinent, and slowly they became powerful. And as they became powerful, due to there are various reasons, so other surrounding those Deccan sultans, they became very angry, or they became very anxious that what will happen to their empires. So that is why finally the ruler of Aravidu dynasty, Rama Raya, was defeated by the Deccan sultans, right? Okay, so now as theme 8 or chapter 8 is not there in your syllabus, it has been deleted by the CBSE board, we are moving towards the 9th chapter, that is the Kings and Chronicles. Okay, so we are dealing with a new chapter with the Kings and Chronicles. In this chapter we are going to study the Mughal court of 16th and 17th centuries. This Mughal court or this Mughal empire was one of the greatest empire of India, and this empire only has the one of the king who is regarded as one of the greatest king of, or the greatest ruler, I must say, that of India. That is, you know, he is none other than Akbar, right? So we will start with that who were these Mughals and how their empire started in India, or how and when they started to rule in India firstly. Then we will see that how this empire ruled for a long period, and from which are the sources which help us to reconstruct the history of this particular empire or this particular period, right? And from that section we are going to deal with some of the chronicles, that means the books or the records written during this period, which explains about the time period, right? Now from the point, that is the Mughals, who were these Mughals, so we have to understand that the name Mughal derived from Mongol. the name Mughal derived from Mongol, and you must remember this thing, that the name Mughal was given by the Britishers to this dynasty. They preferred, means the people or these family members of the Mughal Empire itself, they preferred to call themselves as the Timurids. The Timurids and the Turkish people, because they were the descendants of Timur the Lame, who was a very, very famous and who was a very popular Turkish ruler. In class 11, you have read about Genghis Khan, the Mongol ruler, right? And these Mughals, they also had a connection with the Mongol rulers. One of the sons of Genghis Khan, his daughter was married to the Timurid dynasty. That means the first Mughal, who was known as Babur, his mother was from Genghis Khan's dynasty and his father was from Timur's dynasty. And you know that in class 11 you have studied that how famous and how powerful the Mongols were. So you can understand the power, the aggressiveness, the roughness, the sturdiness of the Mongols of Genghis Khan came to the Mughals through the bloodline, and the same came from Timur. Timur was one of the very, very famous and very, very popular ruler of that particular time in the Asian subcontinent, Timur the Lame. So both of the very powerful families, they were married together, and the new generation was produced. A new generation, when they came to this world, they became very powerful. But I think you remember that when I taught you about the Mongols, I told you that they were remembered in two ways, right? They were remembered once that they were the very powerful, they were the people for the Mongols, they have created the Mongol identity and all. So good for the Mongol people. But the rest of the world, they remember Mongols or Genghis Khan especially as a destroyer. As a destroyer, because Genghis Khan and his Mongol empire and his Mongol army have destroyed a lot of part. So this Mongols or this Genghis Khan and his family, they had a very negative approach towards the popular belief. So these Mughals or these Babur and his family and his descendants, they never gave the reference of the Mongol dynasty, because that was a negative part of their history. So always they referred themselves as the Timurids or the Turkish Timurids. It was the Britishers for the first time who linked the Mongol identity, the Mongol history with the Mughals and gave them a new name called the Mughals. Understood? And as I told you before also, that Babur was the first Mughal who came to India. His full name was Zahiruddin Babur. So Zahiruddin Babur, he was driven from Central Asia, from Uzbekistan, and he in 1526 he reached the border of India, and in the year 1526 he fought the first battle of Panipat. He fought the first battle of Panipat with the last Afghan ruler, whose name was Ibrahim Lodi. These are informations are not there in your book. So he fought the first battle of Panipat in the year 1526, and he defeated the last Afghan ruler, whose name was Ibrahim Lodi, and finally established his empire. his successors like Nasiruddin Humayun or Jalaluddin Akbar consolidated the empire, right? So which is known as the Mughal Empire. So with this I'll stop here. In my next video I will talk about this dynasty a little bit, then move into the next part. Okay, thank you.